Right, hello. Sorry I haven't put videos up recently, but I've been recovering from a minor op I had, so I've been laid up for a while. I've been tinkering around though, so this is going to be more of a show what I've done rather than actually me doing anything at the moment. As you can see, a few things have changed. I've been playing around with all the mechanical bits to make sure everything fits before I do any of the paneling. So let's start off with the various problems I had. When I put the engine in and gearbox, the whole thing sat at an angle. I can't remember which way it was now. I think it was that way. And that was due to sort of mismatches of engine mounts and other things. So we overcame that by using that engine mount there as its reference. That then brought the engine square or centre line to the car. And then I had to cut off of there and shorten that slightly to make that engine mount fit correctly. And then we have down below where the interface is between the bell housing and the chassis, there's a couple of slots down in there. Again, I had to cut those out, re-weld and move those because I wanted the engine to come back towards the back slightly so that this bracket here missed the oil filler, oil breather. This particular bracket, once I got the engine in the center, these holes didn't line up, so I had to do a cut and remove that side and add material that side to line that up. That was okay, so that went in all right. So that dealt with the engine installation. So then we moved on to suspension, which is just mocked up at the moment at the rear. Nothing's really tight at all. Just to see that everything fitted. It's a lot easier to do all this with no chassis panels on. It's just a straightforward job putting it together. No real hassles. But what I have found is that obviously it's supplied with the various spacers, but some of them are loose. It needs obviously a very thin washer. Ditto with the shock absorbers, top and bottom. And down in this area here, we need again some packers so that it doesn't pull the ball joint in. So what I've gone ahead and done is I've managed to, on eBay, I purchased some shim washers, which are incredibly cheap. Which I've got some here, if I can just find them. What have I got here? Is that size? Yeah, there we go. So for the larger diameter, which are the top and bottom pivots, I've got 1 mil, a pack of 1 mil, half mil, 0.25 and 0.1 of a millimeter. I think it's 10 in each pack. And then for where the shock absorber and bolts on and the rod ends go, again, I've got 1 mil, 0.5, 0.25 and 0.1. And from memory, I think they're a couple of quid a pack. So certainly well worth buying. So that deals with that. Then we move over to the drive shaft. And I think, right, what we want here is I've put the circlip on the end, as you can see. And then what we don't want is that effect to happen, because that's just going to wear the splines out. So what I've got to do is bring it hard up against the circlip, and then I've got to put a round tube in there, just a small tube, it'll be slipped over, and then I should just spot weld it round so that that is then a tight fit onto the actual drive shaft and can't move backwards and forwards. And ditto would do the same on this end. So take him up to the end and then put a collar on there and just weld the collar in. It's just to stop the drive shaft sliding inside the universal. Inside the, I think they're called lobo joints, I can't remember now. It's the actual lobo joint we want to move and not the spline. So that deals with that. Right, that's about it, I think. Haven't done anything else, but quite pleased with that. Oh, the other point that I've found is the where that rose joint there is there, that's quite an acute angle. So I'm going to have to machine a chamfer on the actual spators there. And they're a bit loose as well. I'll have to do that on the top one and on the bottom one. And ditto over the other side. Where it comes into the wheel area, we got movement there, so I'm happy with that. And ditto with the bottom one. So no problems there. So that's as far as I've got. Nothing else to report. Thanks for watching again.